Hello and welcome to Electronic Communication at NDSU English 457. My name is Kevin Brooks. I'm the instructor for this class. I'm going to give you a brief tour of the course page that I've set up on WordPress, and just make sure you can find everything that you need to find. You can see right here I'm on the home page, and that might look like a little bit of a mess because I've used this same setup in the past, and a lot of the work that's here is from last year or things that I've added since I taught the class. But I'm going to walk you through the top menu bar primarily and tell you a little bit about what's underneath in the second menu bar. First link is about, and I'm not going to read this to you, I'm going to let you read about the course here. It's got a little bit of a history both of the course and then my personal history with social media down here, something that I'm going to ask you to also contribute to your blogs. The traditional syllabus is the second item over on the list, and that'll give you all of the key pieces of information. I want to highlight here the required texts for the course. I've got 4 required texts for the course, and even though this is an electronic class and online, there's still some important reading to do here. The assignments in brief are here, but I'm going to encourage you to look at those in detail, some portfolio information, but I want to make sure you see the expectations down at the end. I've suggested preparing to spend at least 9 hours a week on the course. Pretty typical formula. This is important. Number 2, be prepared to sign up for a variety of web services. If you don't want to be online, if you don't want to share your information online, this isn't a good course for you. You will be asked to do all of your work online outside of Blackboard. You will be asked to sign up for a variety of services, and I encourage you to read the terms of service for those. You are often giving the different services permission to use your intellectual property, and if you have a problem with that, I understand, and you might want to rethink things a little bit. But I certainly am also not trying to say this to scare anybody off. I think most of us join up for these services and we get more benefit than harm from them, and so we continue to do that. Bullet 3, be prepared for an intense course experience. I think that's typically been the experience for students who have taken this class. It's not a sit back and watch kind of online class. It's not a go at your own pace kind of class. I've got a full schedule laid out, and as some of the next couple of things suggest, I'm going to be asking you to be working together, so it's not an isolated experience where it's just you and the material. I'm going to encourage fostering a community in the class, and especially in the second half of the course, collaboration will be required, even though you won't meet many of your classmates, although I'm guessing many of you know each other. Certainly show respect for your classmates, their ideas and work. That's typical online and in face-to-face. Get a little bit more philosophical here about being observant, thoughtful, and curious. I think that's the way to approach this in most other courses. And then also have fun. I always enjoy teaching the class, and I think most of my students enjoy taking it. So those are the highlights from this particular page, this syllabus. The assignments, again, I'm going to skip right over and just encourage you to use the drop-down navigation and go into each one of those, look at them in detail. I've got a number of items linked underneath the service learning assignment. That's the second half assignment, so you might want to look at some of those items as well. Most of the other ones are just single pagers. The course schedule, this is important, is if you'll see the drop-down menu, but if you click on course schedule, you'll get the whole semester. Not in detail, but you'll get the whole semester in short form, just sort of this is what we're going to read, this is what we're going to write for each particular week. If you come back to the more detailed items, you'll get a more detailed breakdown of each week. So this week 1, very important week, set up your blog, write your first blog essay, and don't forget to connect. And then I'm going to ask you to here, typically going to talk about goals. Actually, this page I did a little bit differently than the other ones. I typically talk about what you're going to read, what you're going to write, and then the interactions that you're going to have. I'm going to let you look at those in detail. I know sometimes on these screencasts it's hard to read the text on the page, but I'm not expecting you to read this. I'm expecting you to go back to the blog itself and read the pages and look at those in detail, which is also why I'm kind of zooming through things. Finally, on the top navigation are the organizations that you'll work with in the second half of the course. The whole theme is really the network nonprofit, how to use social media for social good. These are actually titles of the books that I'm assigning, as well as the 140 characters, how to write the short form and what I'll call the long form, as well as a book on web content management. So anyway, that's the top set of navigation bars up there. These ones under here, these are just categories for posts, and so I actually need to do a little bit more reorganization of this and get this cleaned up a little bit. But for example, blogging, what that'll take you to are all of the posts that are in the website that have been categorized as blogging. So here, looking at something from John Lindensmith, is a former student. Most of this work is work posted by former students. You'll also find things, I think I posted something more recently about Facebook. This is something we'll be reading in, I think, week 3, about how to make sense of the Facebook updates, their reach in the promoted posts. So these down here are a little less important right now. I'll go into more detail on them a little bit later. Over here on the right-hand navigation, I've got a few network nonprofits up there. I'm planning to add a few more. I've got a few resource links started here. I'll add a few more and do some work there. Social media experts, same thing. And then here's the students previously in the class. I don't expect you to spend a lot of time looking through those, because I've changed the class quite a bit from last year to this year, focusing more on professional writing, a little less on the theory, although I think we will still be able to get at some big picture questions. But if you want to take a look at somebody's work, you can certainly come here and see the kind of individual blogs that students were putting together during the course. And what I'll do once you start setting up your own blogs like these students did, then I'll get you to send me the URLs, like the wooshka.wordpress.com up here. You'll send that to me, and I'll start building a new role that will not have the students previously enrolled in the class, but the students currently enrolled in the class. A couple other items here, but not too important right now. I'll try to keep my introductory videos to a reasonable length, because I know they're not always the most engaging video you're going to watch on the website, but I hope you find that they're useful. It allows me to talk through some of the content. It allows you to see a face behind the class, and hopefully it clarifies things for you as we go along. So please, I will also send you an email announcement through Blackboard telling you the course is up and running, but I encourage you to get started. We are officially in spring 2013. The course has started. The activities for week 1 are all listed in detail on here. If you have any questions, contact me. I hope to see work starting to flow right away, and certainly by Thursday you should have your blog up and running and your first post on there, and you should be working towards your first official blog essay by later in the week. Enjoy the class. Looking forward to interacting with all of you.